Hello, my loves. Welcome back to Third Eye Exchange. Today, the topic is what can I expect during Mabon? Mabon is a pagan holiday, and it basically celebrates the last harvest. I did another pick a card last year for what blessings can I expect during the third harvest. This one's gonna be very similar. I am not going to do what I've been doing. Like, I haven't pre-shuffled and, like, set up the decks. I mean, yes, but not as many Oracle cards. We're just going to do, like, a simple message because it's about a month and a half long, I want to say. And then the next one would be Samhain, which is, like, Halloween. So, without further ado, this is pile one. I have, like, set up your cards. I saw a few of them, but, like, I'm not, like, usually when I get into it, I'll just, like, focus. I didn't cherry pick them, though. I let them come out organically. So, we're gonna get into it. As you guys can see, I very much woke up like this. Some days, you just gotta answer the universe's call and not overthink it. And get right into it. As long as you show up. That might be a message for you. As long as you show up. You don't have to be perfect, but you gotta show up. That's like literally half the game. Also, when I was like setting up, I heard that song by Tate McRae. It's Nostalgia. So I don't know if it's like right now you're going through a time where you're like really reflecting on the past and maybe dynamics that played out, your role in things, your role in your own suffering, I want to say. Also just like coming to peace with like some of the situations that have played out with people that you cared about. It did feel like love interest, but it doesn't have to be, because kind of what came to mind was, so in the song she says, funny thing about nostalgia, it didn't show up till I lost you. So could be about old relationships, but honestly, I don't believe at the heart of it that song is like romantic. So some opening messages. So we're gonna start. Again, I don't have my tripod, so we're gonna have to deal. So anyway, at the back of the tarot, we have Nine of Pentacles. At the back of, I use the Seasons of the Witch Mabon Oracle. That's one of the reasons why I'm just doing this impromptu reading, because I went back home yesterday and got this deck specifically because for some reason I forgot that Mabon comes before Samhain, but it's fine. Oh yeah, we have Scarecrow. And it says, remember that you are not alone. Move with confidence as you are guided. And that's number 34, but that simplifies to 7. So as the underlying energies, and it's so funny because for both of the oracle cards, as like that are the underlying energy of what's going on right now, we have Palo Santo, which is guardian. It's about being protected, being guided, like understanding that like you are divinely guided. So even in the moments where you feel like maybe nothing has been coming to fruition, or you're kind of like in that in-between period, I feel like this is gonna be an in-between period for you. Or honestly, like it could feel like that, but there still is a lot of abundance coming in from seeds you've planted. Maybe this is kind of a time where you're starting to plant like more seeds or new seeds. So it's kind of like the cycle is coming around. I almost wanted to say coming round. I don't know. So yeah, also, okay, I want to bring this up I don't know if this is like a message for somebody in my life or like you guys, but collective is all connected, so I'll mention it. But I kept seeing like, or last night, like I had a download and they were telling me about Cambridge, like UK though, because there's a Cambridge in Boston. I mean, it could be relevant to you either way, just like Cambridge. So I don't know if you're from Cambridge or like you're supposed to travel there or something, but I thought I should probably bring that up. Okay, so where you're at, 7 of Wands. Keep hearing that song, that nostalgia song. Knight of Wands reversed. The Lovers. I love this tarot deck. Knight of Swords reversed. Interesting. Oh shit. The Tower. Okay. Before I even turn over the other cards, I'm getting more messages. So even just based on that, I feel like right now, like the reason why you feel like you're like in an in-between is because, I mean, you kind of are, but it's like, it's not bad. It's like you've already, this is a good message. You've already set the foundation for the life that you seek. Or you're nearing the end of like that first chapter. If you don't feel like you're like fully secure in it yet. But it's like, that's like, don't be afraid. I know everyone sees a tower and they're like, ah, but it's like, I swear it's good. Like in this situation, it's more like, I think you need to bring like more like romance into your life. It could be like romance like with people, or it could just be like having a sense of enjoyment, romanticizing your life, like letting yourself spend a little bit of money on yourself, like to enjoy yourself. Like don't get so trapped in like this cycle of like grind. Like the way that you're gonna level to the next level is by sitting in that Empress energy. I know it didn't come up here, but is by sitting in the energy of receiving and by coming into full union with your needs and your desires, and not just like being hyper masculine. Also, because we have we had 2 Knights in reverse. I feel like they're reversed because I often see like Knights as like, so okay, think of it like this. We have Page, Knights, Queens, Kings, right? Hope I'm not forgetting anybody. This is just an example. In the grand scheme of things, like when I see things mapped out, sometimes when it comes to like cards like this, you have 2 Knights and they're both in reverse. You are now coming out of like beginner level. You're literally, I told you before, like you're leveling up. You're coming out of the beginner level. Damn. Sometimes I'm like, bro, I'm really psychic. Okay. Oh yeah, and like maybe you even feel kind of stagnant. We'll get into those in a second. But I feel like this Tower moment, because this is like outcome advice, this Tower moment is just asking you to like surrender and let go of anything that you know isn't fully serving you, anything that you know wasn't really yielding results, I want to say. Or like methods that, I want to say tried and true methods, but it's more like in the way of like things that you've tried and you know, like, okay, this isn't, like, I don't know if it's like if you have a business or like just projects, or I don't know if you're like in the media, like it could be stuff like that, but just like whatever you've tried and it's like you know that it's not, it doesn't serve, like I said, it doesn't fully serve you. It doesn't really play a role in the next chapter. Yeah. Okay. Also, I feel like a lot of what they're asking you to release is things around like not being able to, like, I don't know, it's almost like not like a lack of focus on your mental health. A lack of focus on your mental health, and it's spilling into like your belief in yourself to like create the life that you want, or really head into the next chapter, because you're, like I said, you've already set this foundation. Now it's just a matter of like, I guess, acclimating into the next chapter, meshing into the next chapter. Because I don't know if you guys have ever noticed, but sometimes we get thrown into the next stage, and sometimes like things calmly, like slowly and calmly enter, while other things kind of like usher their way out in the background, and it's not so dramatic. I feel like this new beginning has already kind of started for you, and it's starting to show. And that's what I think this Nine of Pentacles is about. Like, you've already started to see like the fruits of your efforts. And that's what leads me to believe like you may even be planting new seeds for like the second the second chapter. That's very specific. I don't know if you're writing a book. They're very adamant about chapter. Okay. I'm gonna keep these actually underneath them, and I'll keep these in the middle, and we'll turn them over after. I'm telling you guys, I keep hearing that song, Nostalgia. Give it a listen. If I remember, I'll link it down below in the description. Oh, this could also be like, there's several messages coming through. I think I'm just gonna do this as like one big collective message. I was gonna do pick a cards, but I think because there's a lot of messages coming through. Okay, anyway, you might have been like, you kind of, I feel like you came from a background where like, I don't know if like your parents were immigrants, or like maybe they created generational wealth before you, and now you feel like you have to live up to certain expectations. There's something about that. But I feel like they did it the way that, by the book. Thank you. There's so much about a book here. Like, yeah, they did it by the book. And I feel like that was kind of something that was always like placed upon you, that you had to do things a certain way. You had to live your life a certain way, take certain steps to be successful. Like, okay. Like I said, like, okay, in the song Nostalgia, like, part of the words, and these are ones that really stand out to me, so I'm not even surprised. She said, could have been an architect, took it to the ivy. This is not in the exact order that it is, I think. Took it to the ivies and never really knew for what. Yeah, so basically, I don't know if this is like about her dad and somebody else or whatever. Like, it was also just kind of like a story. Part of it is fictional, she would said in an interview, but essentially, like, I feel like you're hearing this message now, so you don't, as kind of like a wake-up call, so you don't follow in other people's footsteps that don't feel fulfilling to you. It's okay. If it feels fulfilling for you, then this message is probably not for you, or it was, one of the messages before I got to this part. But if not, like, this is kind of your wake-up call to, you can bet on yourself. And also, I do feel like, even with that being said, even if you did live this lifestyle and, like, are, like, far into it, but you're feeling like you need something more, you need something else now, like, what once was, like, working in that way is no longer serving you. Like, you still, this definitely feels like you have money. Like, you have set, like I said, you have set a foundation. So, like, money is not the problem. It's more of, like, a mental block of feeling like, how am I going to do it? But everything that we do, like, when we do things successfully, we set the foundation, right? And then we move in, like, steps. Like, we take one step up on the staircase each time, but when we get to the next step, we're starting anew, but from a higher place. So you've already done this. You know how to work hard. You know how to set foundations. You know how to be an apprentice. You know how to be, like, a beginner. You know how to do that and how to move through that energy and master things and turn them into, like, something, like, successful and lucrative. You know, no matter what that looks like for you, even if we're talking from a more practical standpoint, from, like, you know, even by the book, like, no matter what, even with spirit, like, when it comes to manifestations, there is just a cycle. It all moves in cycles. And they talk about timeline jumps, leveling up, that's all it means. It means that you're in a fresh stage. Things probably look way different than they did 6 months ago, a year ago, when you enter them. And you're doing things that previous version on that lower step or a few steps lower would never even have, like, thought possible. But it's because you've just increased your capacity of your nervous system. You've increased your capacity of, like, your manifestation power. You've cleared blockages. You've, like things that could have been deep rooted that weren't even your own, that you inherited through your DNA. So it's like, you know how to do this already. All you have to do is just do it. And, like, you are capable. Just know, I think the reason they're having me explain the whole cyclical thing is because, as a reminder, I'm losing it. Hang on. As a reminder that you are not starting from zero. You're starting from experience. You're starting from, like, you know, I mean, you have accomplished a lot so far, and you're capable of that. And I think you just need that reminder. And you are protected on this journey. Like I said, we've had those two things about being guided and protected. There's a lot of 5s in here too. And also, I think you need to start speaking up more. Like, I think you doubt yourself. Like, you doubt your intuition for this next chapter of your journey, but you shouldn't. You really shouldn't. Oh, I love you guys. Sorry, I'll be getting in my feels. And then, like, it's okay if you did the thing and you just decided, like, I want to use this stability that I've built for myself and, like, invest it into something that suits me more. That's fine. Like, you didn't fail. You didn't fail. So you could be thinking about starting a business. You could be thinking about actually diving into art or pursuing something that you always wanted to pursue but felt like what was expected of you was very different, and so you went that route, and now you're feeling like, okay, like, I have the means to, like, support myself now, like, maybe I should start pouring into what I actually really want. And Spirit's like, yes, you should. Yes, you should. There's more than one way to get to where we want to go. Always. Don't forget that. Like, that's another part of, like, I think like learning the right balance between our masculine and feminine energy, like the masculine grounds things, brings them, like obtains the foundation, like the materials to build the foundation, and builds the foundation, and like creates that like stability. But the feminine like like teaches us how to receive the blessings that come in because of that, and also like balances that hard work energy out with play and rest and rejuvenation and creativity. We need both. You can't live with just one for too long, or you'll be unbalanced, and you'll start to really feel that, as I'm sure you're starting to realize or have already. Okay, first we have Harvest Moon. Slow your heart and move gently into the coming of self. This is such an exciting time. Also, you can put your guard down. Like remember, Spirit has your back. They are supporting you through this, because this came out in the same position as the Seven of Wands. I see Seven of Wands as like spiritual protection, or guarding what we've built for ourselves thus far. Or even like guarding, like when a baby or an egg is being incubated, like guarding, yeah, like I said, like the seeds we've planted. And I also, yeah, like this feels like an in-between time, like I said, because they're really emphasizing that. What you want. Queen of the Dead. And this is 2, by the way. So this talks about like union with our higher selves. This is I'm so excited about this. Okay. Queen of the Dead. Fear not the rage of fire living within, for it is the power of your fierceness waiting to taste you fully. Yeah, like if there's a passion, or if you are a passionate person, because I feel sore. My throat feels sore. So it's like, I think I mentioned this before, like you should be expressing that. I do feel like this is about creativity. You should be expressing these things. And I feel like that's part of your life purpose. But sometimes like Spirit doesn't awaken certain things in us because it just wasn't time yet. Like, life and spirit, it can be such a complex thing, like especially if you have a spiritual awakening, if you're on the spiritual path, like our experiences don't look like what society deems as like normal, like, and maybe there was a time when your life did look like that, and now you look back and you're like, never could have foreseen this, like never would have thought in a million years, 10 years ago, that this is how life would have turned out. Like, you know what I mean? That's just what happens. Because certain things are not brought into our awareness, one, until we have the ability to conceptualize and like hold them energetically, and also because sometimes it's just not time yet. Okay, what you need to do. This is where we have the Lovers and Cacao. You are loved, you are held, and you already are everything you seek. 5. There's also the 5 here. This is about change. Yeah, Spirit really is just like highlighting the fact that you are protected. I actually want to look at this one for that. Grace. Yeah, patience. Have patience with yourself through this new journey, like this new venture that you're setting out on. Because, like I said, you've already gotten yourself this far. It's like that whole rant I went on before. But it's just like they want to give you this reassurance and validation. Because sometimes too, like if I feel like this is gonna be for a lot of people that are like have already been established and are like more middle aged. It's okay if you're not. You could just be experiencing this anyway, or like older souls. that like you finally were like, all right, like I've had enough, like it's time to do me. Okay. Obstacles, challenges. We have the Knight of Swords reversed. Against your will, there will not be. No entrance, no welcoming, be gone. I feel like no matter what you do, if you try to fight this for convenience sake or comfort sake, familiarity sake, you're gonna be pushed into this new beginning whether you like it or not. So I highly recommend you embrace it and you learn. This is, I think, where the mental energy ties in. Make sure that you're taking care of your mental health, because that's gonna really ease this transition for you. Coca, foresight. Yo, and both of these are 36. So maybe you are 36. Maybe everything's gonna come full circle completely by like March 6th, or they're really emphasizing the ending of life as you've known it, but for the best, so you can like really head into new horizons and things that fully serve you, fully and better serve you. I don't know why all of a sudden they didn't want me to take those, but now they want me to take these. We'll see. Okay. Outcome advice. Shape-shifting. Transformation is not the loss of what once was. It is the evolution of a more powerful self. Sometimes shape-shifting could represent, obviously like stepping into our higher selves, our new selves. It could represent weight loss even. You could even be going through that, like unsatisfied with how your habits have been. So like stepping into newer and better ones, really taking your health, whether that's mental, physical, or spiritual, or all of them, into your own hands and like really putting importance on that finally. If you haven't done so already. I also feel like, because this did come out in the reverse, there, like I said before, there is some resistance here right now. Protection. And this is number 4, so that's stability. And then we also have sensuality and another 9. This was, by the way, this was 8. The shape shifting was 8, which is like abundance. Sensuality in the reverse. So like I said, so sensuality could be like physical intimacy, like, yes, but it could also be like what I talked about before, that learning how to be in our Empress energy of receiving, of resting, of creativity, of really getting comfortable in that place, because that's who you are now. And you're healing your feminine energy. Or maybe you've closed out a cycle where you were healing your feminine energy, and that's what really prompted this shift. Let's see what the where you're at one was for this. Purification. Yep. Getting rid of anything that doesn't serve you. Didn't I say that? Letting go of, you might even feel like cleaning house right now. Getting rid of limiting beliefs, because we have a lot of yellow. We have yellow here. In this one, we've got yellow here. We've got yellow and orange, so that's like sacral and solar plexus. So confidence, self-esteem, creativity, sensuality, like expression. I think you're really like healing your sacral, actually. Your solar plexus, yes, they're kind of, I always feel like they are very connected. And that's probably why I felt the throat too, because it deals with expression. And then what you want, acceptance. So maybe this is like, okay, this makes so much sense. When I was setting down the cards and I first saw that, I was like, now I understand why they wanted me to do it like this. So 44 could be a master number of stability, or even setting a foundation, literally setting a foundation, because when we head into the 5 energy, that's big shifts. That's change, quick change when it happens, but basically things that have been like brewing for a while. Brewing. Yeah, and like just acceptance, I think, like I said, like from the people around you, maybe people that, you know, you looked up to. Like, this feels almost like I said before, like maybe your parents, that's really how this feels, or just like society, yourself. I feel like this is something that you struggled with at one point, but I think now you're heading into a time where you're like, fuck it, like I'm just going for it, like I have nothing to lose. I did what everybody told me I should do, and I'm done. So it's time to do you and be happy, boo. The sun. This was like a by the way card. Like the sun. Like this is like, follow your gut on this. Follow your intuition. Like it's leading you to this energy. Like you have no idea how good it's gonna get. I know that's so cliche, but like really. Like, this is all, like, guaranteed, like, abundance, happiness, satisfaction, like, true fulfillment. I feel like I say fulfillment weird. But that's okay. Oh, guys. Okay, we'll do charms. We'll do what I did in my last reading. What energy are you moving out of, and what energy are you moving into? We'll see. I'm gonna see if I can get one to jump out. Oh my god, there's like a lot. Okay, so we're gonna do... Actually, there was a lot of water energy here. We literally got Pisces, Cancer, and Scorpio. Okay, you know what? This is actually pretty good. So Pisces, so we'll say the energy you're coming out of is like watery energy, but often I've noticed a more shadow aspect of these energies could be, yes, you have deep, beautiful emotions, even to the point where they could consume you, but a lot of the time these signs water signs keep their emotions hidden very well. They keep their, when they're not fully connected, or when there's trauma in the way of their expression, or just like more private energy, more like hidden. Remember, water is like the moon. Water energy is like the moon. It's things that are hidden. It's shadow aspects. And by the way, shadow aspects don't have to be bad. Shadow aspects could be like hidden talents, things that you're good at. Like this is kind of the vibe I'm getting. And the energy that you are heading into is Sagittarius, which could be, this one says optimist, which definitely true. Like optimism, expansion, travel, even being able to better express yourself. That's one thing about Sagittarius. They gonna tell you whether you like it or not. They gonna tell you whether they're wrong or not. They're gonna say what they have to say. So that's the energy here. And yeah, like this is awesome. Like this is great. And also, I think just not... Hey, so my phone, the storage, okay, whatever. So yeah, so I feel like you're heading out of like a period where you're like overthinking, or like really like brooding emotionally, and you're just gonna, like, I almost want to say fly from off the seam of your pants, or the seat of your pants, whatever. And just be more in the moment. Be more in the moment. Be more creative. Be much more expressive and like unapologetic about it. But also, it's funny because when I like looked and I didn't even realize, because it kind of blended in with the card, there is Virgo energy here too. So I feel like it's a funny, it's so weird because when I think of Sagittarius and Virgo, like their dynamics together, whether in friendship or relationships, for some reason, like they balance each other out very well. I've noticed, I actually know a lot of Sagittarius and Virgos that like really do well together. And I feel like that's really what it is. Like through letting go, through sitting, like being more in this feminine, like happy-go-lucky, expressive energy, and like just enjoying yourself, romanticizing your life, allowing yourself to enjoy more pleasure, whether it's like going out to eat, travel, you know, self-care, whether like exercise or just like a skincare routine, like writing, doing art, like whatever it is that you like to do that puts you in that flow state. The funny part of it is, like, by doing this, it's gonna bring you more into this Virgo energy of like you have more discipline, you get more things done. And even though Virgos are worrywarts, I do feel like you're letting go of that energy more so. But you're bringing in like the practicality and the discipline and the admirable quality of like being able to really ground your ideas and set things in motion in a way that works and doesn't overcomplicate it. So I love you guys. I hope you enjoyed your what to expect from Mabon reading. Like I said, I thought it was going to be a pick a card, but there was tons of messages that came through. So honestly, you can watch the whole thing or just click on what works for you, or click on like a random spot on like the little timeline, and that'll be your message. I love you. I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for coming. Bye.